President Putin did. He took out the whole shelf and he pulled out a file with people's signatures in it. Really exposed them, didn't he? With people's signatures, dates, and people who attended that meeting. And he even have minutes. And Carlson Tucker was very lucky. He's one of the first journalists to have that file. And so far, we want to know, Tucker, what is in that file. We know very soon he's going to reveal what is in that file. And we know he's going to test what is in that file. And we know that he's going to investigate and go all out to try and see how legit is that file. It's very interesting because we all knew from before that Putin is not a madman that they're trying to portray him to be. Look, I don't encourage violence. I don't encourage war. I'm a global citizen which is all for peace at all cost. Peace at all cost. But at times things, you know how it's like. You know how it's like. Let me not just go deep into that. Let me not just go deep into that. But yeah, it was a headline. It was a headline. It was all over. But the funny part is this: most of these media outlets, they don't show it. Even me in South Africa, all of those the media outlets, not even one. We've got more than 10 media outlets, like the news outlets. Not even one showed about it and talked about it. Of which, oh man, it's in their interest anyway. But thanks God to the internet. Thanks God to social media. It's one of the privileges that they're trying to control so hard. But they can't win. They seem to be failing. They seem to be failing. Thanks God to media, social media. Because news like this, first hand, that's where we got them, Starlink and all that. Like, why that's where we get it. That's where we get it. And yeah, it has been very, very exciting. Like I said, this is just a piece of a tip bag. It's just a piece of an iceberg. Of an iceberg, a tip of an iceberg. So we're just gonna go through that because I'm still gonna go through it and we can discuss more. We can discuss more because it especially for us, we geopolitics lovers, we gonna engage and indulge in that interview and basically just try and get into Mr. Putin's head. But I went through summarized clips of that interview. But I'm under the impression that he's saying the same thing that he's been saying. Like Russia is always ready to talk. Russia will never close Ukraine out. And even the first day, if you still remember the first day on February 2022, when he invaded, he said, let us talk. Don't do this. Let us talk. And he's forever saying that. And for somehow, there've been forces who doesn't want to talk. And they don't see we as the global citizens. This thing is doing what? This thing is it's cutting. To be honest with you, it's messing with the US hegemony. It's messing with the US hegemony. Because now they come out as these bloodthirst animals, and they build something so nice, the US, we getting the democracy from them, everything that is US is the best. They've got the best athletes, they got the best everything. Like people started fantasizing about living in USA, like USA, but now they all that they have worked so hard for, they just gonna kick it down the bucket because of what really? We don't know. Maybe them they know. Some will say power. But one will ask what power because they have power. And one will say more power. Then, yeah, such situations just take on. And it really does put a dent on the US image because now everyone, everyone, with all the money they invested in making the media make them look good and make them look what they call the protectors of human rights, they doing the complete opposite. They doing the complete opposite. And with this obsession they have with any power that's like a bit rising above them, they see them as threat. All that is just a hole that they keep on digging themselves into, and eventually they won't be able to take themselves out of that. I don't wish that for USA. Hey, I like USA. Hey, I like USA, but at times we need to focus on the real stuff, on the real stuff, on the real problems, the real troubles of this global world. And you cannot talk about the global world and the real struggles of this world and not include America. Not include America. So yeah, my fellow Americans, we love. And the other thing that also came this week about the case of Joe Biden, about the classified information that he has, global citizens. You heard what was the judge's ruling? He said Joe Biden is too old to memorize anything. The poor man is too old. Underline, too old to be held accountable. But you, my fellow Americans, what are you doing? Why do you give a poor man, a tired poor man who is sleepwalking? I'm not criticizing him. Just look at the clips. Even Donald Trump's made fun of it. Even Donald Trump's made fun of Joe Biden. It's not something that I'm making up. And even on YouTube, it's all over. It's all over YouTube where he sleepwalk. So you, my fellow Americans, the global citizens ones, the progressive global citizens ones, why do you keep on voting a retired man into power? His mind is elsewhere. That guy is we need to start putting people who are relevant for today's life into power. By so doing, that's when we're gonna start prospering and we start seeing things differently because we cannot vote the same way and expect different result. My global citizens, my fellow Americans, let's stop doing that. The grandpa he had his time, man. He had his time. He must just rest, look after kids at the beach. I know he's got a very beautiful beach house. Look after his grandkids, play in the sandy beach of San Diego or somewhere in Florida or in Miami by the nice beachside, beachfront there. He must just enjoy his life, man. Come on. No, this thing of trying to put old men into power for them to hang on power because they become puppets. Come on, you know it yourself. Your grandpa, you control him. Grandparents, because the more you get, this is my personal view, the more you get old, old, yes, old, like past 70, 80, that's old. That's old. That's old for me. 80, whatever, 70, whatever. And 70 is still better, but once, you know, imagine. You become, I don't know, something happens with your mind. You are no longer as fit. So imagine putting such a person in power. So we need to start taking things seriously and stop just doing things because we do things. We like really needs to get serious about serious business. Global citizens. Yeah, that's about it for now. Yeah, I promise I'll come up with another video. Just have to do some few research there and there and just keep on providing, and let's engage. Put your suggestion below, your comments, your everything, suggestion. Even if you want us to communicate, two on two, whatever suggestions, I'm all for it. Just look at my diary. If we'll just make a plan. We'll just make a plan. Nobody really has time, but we all make time, especially for things that we think they are important. So, my global citizens, Nimrod Sikakane down in South Africa, I'm out.